Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to the lower bracket finals for Group A here in DAC 2017 CIS Qualifiers. We're going to be taking a look at game number 2, Team Spirit, trying to bring it back and even the series against LQ, who are one game away from moving on to face Team Empire in the playoff bracket. I'm Lyrical, going to be joined as well by Trent Pax. Trent, we're seeing sort of a similar look to what we saw in last game.
Yeah. We didn't get our Chen or anything in the first phase, so there it goes. It's going to be banned out. And Team Spirit, they're going to take a second swing at it this time. And we'll see if this time it'll go a little bit better. I guess we won't have the Darks here, which was pretty important to give Funnick a good chance to snowball early on, help push the waves, kept the Lifestealer up top. Maybe he didn't rotate quite as fast as well because of that. And also a difficult hero to gank. If you don't get him like right at level 1, he can be pretty obnoxious and gets generally good information just by constantly shoving the wave in. So without an offlaner that you can really abuse as someone like that Slider, it can be difficult to get yourself up in that earliest Blink Dagger possible. And wow, okay, we're even gonna get rid of the Magnus.
Yeah,
we're really killing anything that we saw in the previous one.
I think that if you lose a game like that, you just got to feel so frustrated, never being able to take a team fight. And with already Rubik and Sand King, two heavy team fight-oriented heroes, it almost makes me wonder if this is the new response to Slardar Lifestealer. It's a lineup that can run into some issues with just being like so single-target focused and counter-initiation being there. I like what we've seen so far from LQ. I feel like they've come up with a good answer.
Yeah, if Team Spirit are going to go for it again, I mean, that kind of stuff, generally you look at games and you just think about those big aspects. You say like, okay, when I look at their draft, do they have crazy team fight? Do they have crazy split push? How much of that do we need to address, or how much can we just completely negate by making it a non-factor? So 5-manning Axe, again, another great counter initiation, very tanky too when he has the Berserker's Call and he gets that bonus armor. Exceptionally good against Slardar Lifestealer. They didn't take the Sven out of the pool as well, which has also been a classic counter to the Slardar Lifestealer. The Dazzle's the other big one, but with the Sand King and the Rubik and the Axe at this point, there's not really any room for another support in the pool. So the core in the Sven would be the best option left if they wanted to go back towards that.
You don't think that it could be something like the safe lane Axe at all that we occasionally saw? Is that just never going to happen?
Probably wouldn't get enough value, more than likely, I would guess.
Okay. I can dream. I like to dream about a safe lane Axe at some point.
Chessie played that really well when they used to pick it for him on Complexity.
Let's think back to Havost as well. Back in the day, Mr. Funnick, he's a sort of remnant of that old guard a little bit, you know. He's been around the block a little time.
Funnick's so old, he used to play offlane Clinks. Like, that's how you know the guy's been around for a long-ass time.
See, I thought you were going to go with, like, a Yo Mama joke or something. Like, Yo Mama's so old, her
I mean, it pretty much is, dude. That's, like, insulting to say that you once played offlane Clinks as if it was a thing. And rushed an Orchid. God, Dota has changed. Times are different.
Well, something that's not going to be too different. Team Spirit, they're going to take a Disruptor, and we're going to see the ever-present Jug. I feel like this is probably one of the most picked heroes in the game right now, with the exception of maybe Rubik. God, you just see him all over the place.
Yep. Very solid. And it's good reason he's picked up. You can throw him mid, you can throw him safe lane. He feels pretty safe, secure. He's got the spin. So if you screw up at all with any sort of a combination here, and that one moment of not being stunned, just gets that off and he'll be a-okay, at least for the most part. But up against a strong silence from the Disruptor can be tough as a Juggernaut. On the other hand, though, you can't get glimpsed because you can just be running and then you just spin away. So a little bit of counterplay between the two heroes. It's just that Juggernaut never really wants to buy those big magic immunity items. So if he does just get straight up Static Stormed, he can run into some pretty big issues because of his item builds.
Yeah. No, and I think that there's a weird dynamic that occurs a little bit with Lifestealer and him too, where if Lifestealer, like if Omni is down basically and Lifestealer has an Echo Saber, it's pretty easy to burst through Jug. But likewise, if Lifestealer is kind of left on his lonesome, the Omni turns back around and just is able to deal a good bit of damage to him. Do you feel like one is sort of favored over the other? Is that kind of what I was saying, or is it?
No, you're pretty much right. I don't think it's not crazy. It's not like Sven versus Jug or something where the Sven just wrecks the Juggernaut. Or it's not one of those kind of matchups. It's definitely more of an even one there. Generally, whichever guy gets stunned by the allies of the enemy team is probably going to be dead, either from the crits of Jug or just the absolute maiming of a Lifestealer when he gets into that Echo Saber Death. So,
yeah. Oh, by the way, seeing this time Phobos Batrider, I believe, who is...
Yeah, and this is a nice change of pace, too, because this got banned out last time when they already had the Slardar. And so we weren't able to get the Slardar Batrider dual off lane. Now with this being available, and apply a lot of pressure to the bottom, but they went for that Jug. So without banning out the Batrider this time, perhaps LQ had that in mind when they took this Juggernaut, knowing that they're going to need something to do with sticky Napalm if they happen to go back for it. And that means they can send Jug in the safe lane up against it, or potentially even go back for something like a Slark too. Those other more classic counters.
That'd be pretty interesting. I wouldn't mind seeing that. Granted, I feel like it's also another one of those sort of weird matchups against the Lifestealer where a lot of your snowballing damage comes from Magical, of course, but we'll see how it ends up working out for them. LQ, last ban now. Team Spirit, what are they needing? Probably a mid laner that is capable of... God, I don't even know. Like, I was thinking sort of OD, but it's not great here either because you've, again, got like so much sustain and... Or not the sustain, like counter initiation. Is there anything you really like?
I think the TA is just a smart ban. Just she would have capitalized on the minus armor from the Slardar. Lifestealer, you don't necessarily need another initiation, so she could have rushed the Deso first and then gone back for the Blink, and then just built off of what's already there from Glimpse as well as the Batrider and the Slardar with your Infest Bombs flying through. So that's the most logical one. I think Shadow Fiend's also still very strong. Team Spirit will actually ban it out themselves. But I would expect more of a either like a spellcaster situation or just this like right clicks. No need for initiation or anything like that from this guy. You've already got that in spades. So a good solid core to try and lock this one on down for the side of Team Spirit. And LQ now with the Alchemist have to try and find a response.
All right, I know that this isn't going to go over well.
Excellent. Hit me with it.
Offlane Sand King, safe lane Axe, mid Jug, and they pick up an Ancient Apparition. Okay, nope, not gonna happen.
Not gonna happen.
Well, we'll play the bumper real quick. Hop into this game number 2, Team Spirit versus LQ. Here we go. Oh my God, look at that Radiant Sword. It was amazing. Alchemist is probably gonna pick one of those up in this game. But Invoker the last pick. Do you like this way to go for LQ here?
Yeah, works up very nicely with the Axe. Even just level 1 Burrow Strike too has a decent amount of stun time too, so Sand King can maybe find a little bit of recovery too, just like roaming around the map and helping to set up for some of those Sunstrike ganks. And shouldn't have too much trouble up against the Alchemist. Alch generally just someone who wants to live in the lane and get a bunch of gold and stuff, so he won't be bullying out your Invoker. Be quite happy with the current situation. I like LQ's draft. I think... I don't think it's as strong as in comparison to the last game. Like that one was just I think we both just ended that draft and we're like, wow, this looks like a pretty like the windows were definitely there for LQ in the previous game where Team Spirit had a very specific thing they had to do, and if they failed, it seemed like it was going to be an extremely difficult game, and that's basically what happened. This time, it's not nearly as much as an advantage. I would say that the Alchemist will be the guy who's okay with this being delayed further and further, even if he has a Lifestealer on his team, and it's more so about LQ just either getting well ahead and just kind of closing this one out early, or just getting so far ahead that everyone else besides the Alchemist is a non-factor on the side of Team Spirit.
Yeah, and I think that that's something that they can maybe put together. I will say that the dual offlane of Slardar and Batrider, we've seen it be potent time and again, and even if they don't necessarily go after the Jug, they could also go after like the Rubik, you know, and try and stack him up with the sticky napalm, pressure it out, maybe force a spin from a Jug, and then you're in a little bit of a precarious spot. So, I don't know. I'm tentatively going to be saying that Team Spirit has this one. Like, they do have a really strong window, because if Invoker's going back for, like, this, you know, max Exort build, he's not going to necessarily be a great team fighter outside of throwing out Sunstrikes in the mid-game, right?
Yeah, mostly more about, like, his own split push and his own farm and just helping with the damage that way before we get into those big Aghanim Scepters that everyone seems to be rushing first off these days. And even, like, skipping mobility items a lot of the time after the Midas. Oh. Get some big arrows drawn. Looks like the F&G again here on the Slardar. Trying to figure out exactly what they want to do in terms of bounty runes and early wards.
Yeah. I want to wrap around. Spreading some knowledge between each other. Yeah, I think that if you get a quick blink up on these guys, maybe you start finding a couple pickoffs. I think about how quick Alchemist comes online and then how much of a detriment that could be for LQ if they just don't have the damage to deal with them. But we'll have to see. So you have to see how it goes. What do you think? Like, is Blade Mail really good against Alk, or is it sort of mediocre?
It definitely depends on, I guess, if he goes like the Battle or the Radiance build. I'd call it pretty mediocre.
Okay.
I think it's the biggest deal.
Throw out a little Sunstrike? He didn't. What the hell, man? Come on, Scandal. Get in the game.
That's low tier right there. Scandal, please. Scandal's old. He was there while Funnick was playing off-lane clicks.
Yeah.
You know, he was on some other teams playing Queen of Pain every single game, so
Yeah.
Scandal's not hip on the new Sunstrike.
Yeah, that's something that's sort of made its appearance. I don't remember when it was exactly we first started seeing that. I want to say it was Miracle, but it probably wasn't. It's probably somebody else.
We'll just give it to Miracle. He's the new Bulba. But, I mean, of course, he never used to be able to just have Sunstrike level 1, so...
Right.
What a time to be alive.
I think, actually... So there are two of the players, at least, who were on the old Empire, if I'm not mistaken. And that would be the team that they're facing off against. Is there another one? I'm not sure. Is Lolic, did he used to be on Empire too? Am I crazy?
I can't remember what his old team used to be. Because Scandal and Blow Your Brain definitely used to be on Empire, right?
Okay. Maybe that's who I'm thinking of. These CIS teams.
Yeah, I know. They get all mixed up.
Definitely. Well, nonetheless, early movement out. It was a couple of the similar wards placed down as it was last time. Mid and down here towards the off lane. And it looks like just going to get some blocks out. So has anything in the laning stage changed your opinion about how this early game is going to go?
No, I would say everything's kind of what we expect. Nothing too crazy here. Everyone's shown up where they're supposed to be. Shouldn't be any big surprises. Lolic, I guess, will be our best hope at making something happen down bottom if FNG makes his rotation down here. For now, looks like he's going to try and apply his pressure up top as Funnick is level 1, so this is a good opportunity. We'll try and get something done. If he gets a little bit over aggressive, perhaps the Radiant expecting to start that Slider bottom right away.
Oh.
And that won't be the case.
Yeah, they saw him moving over as well, but Funnick was just too far forward, and now FNG going to be able to tank that tower, and he draws first blood. Great start for the Slardar. Oh my god. Do you hear those voice lines?
Yeah, those are something else.
Spooky.
All right. Fair enough. Oh, bottom lane also pull back there onto our Bat Rider.
Yeah, gonna go for the Firefly. Alf on and away into the river. One thing I'll mention real quickly that's sort of a weird little mechanic that happens with this matchup is sometimes we've been seeing Invokers go for an early Bassi against the Alk to get you that extra bit of armor, and since you didn't end up going for that on Scandal, he's gonna have to like really severely outlast hit him here to break even, because otherwise pretty soon this acid spray is gonna tear him down really low.
Yeah, it's not a fun time really for Invoker, but I guess in terms of most of the times you're not too worried about it, but with FNG roaming around, we know how active he likes to be, especially how much focus he tends to put on the mid lane. Maybe not so much last game, but at least in our previous series. And maybe that's something that Scandal should be concerned with.
Oh, he actually is going to go back and pick one up here, it looks like. So just want to get through the first couple levels. Meanwhile, DK Phobos getting pretty frisky down here with Sunlight. 3 stacks, but he's going to be forced to back away. So they're not running the dual lane. They're really prioritizing FNG, picking up all of these bounty runes instead.
Yeah, pretty familiar. This way just gives a lot of experience over to the Bat Rider. They're committing 3 heroes down here too, so it would probably be... like, you're still getting the exact same result. If Slider was down here, you also wouldn't be getting kills, and they'd also still be committing 3 heroes. So, it's kind of a good thing for Team Spirit, whereas rather than having FNG waste his time down there, as well as staffing experience, he's just roaming around the map, grabbing all these bounties. And now he is Tranquils at 2.5 minutes for doing nothing. Well, I shouldn't say nothing. I mean, he got that kill top lane, but
yeah. I
mean, that was pretty easy peasy. Other than that, now he's just running at bounty runes and going to stack a camp for his Alk. What a nice guy.
Yeah, this is actually one of the better ways that you can run this Slardar too for the Alchemist, because normally you wouldn't end up being able to like.
Van score's ready too.
This is money.
Yeah.
Can he get a double?
Shit.
Wait, Van score, come on. All right, he's got it.
No, he'd have to do some crazy like timing of the Q. You need to wait. How long does it last? Strike 8 seconds. All right, so theoretically you could probably do it. I bet if you started at like 45 seconds or whatever, and then they like ran out and then ran back in, and then that Q stacked it, but All right, someone's going to do some disruptor theory crafting, guys. We can get our disruptor double stacking too.
Look at this, though. You see that FNG realizing what's going on with Funnick, and he's going to come and try and at least contest this a little bit. Steals a couple of creeps. And, well, Funnick, he's going to end up sharing this experience here. Also going to get the D award. FNG, he realized that Funnick was spotting him, so...
Very nice. That was the exact same word as last game, too. So FNG, I've seen him, like, on lands and stuff, quickly go back over the replays as well. Maybe just spotting exactly where the offlane likes to put his ward, and he was quite correct. So now he'll get the remnants of that camp all so low. This is worth for sure. And you got Tranquil Boots. You should probably backpack them, but maybe just doesn't want to lose the extra movement speed in case the axe moves over.
Well, and speaking of axe, he's getting dove sort of BZZ there in the area, and they're going to actually cancel the TP from Sand King. So they don't have a TP rotation that could come. Funnick is in a really scary spot right now.
FNG's deep, though, by himself. Like, this is still... Gotta get there. Oh, nice.
Yeah, they don't have anybody to come in, and there's the glimpse back. They're going to be able to chase him down. Van scores Sunstrike. Oh, just off the mark. They're not going to get it. And they trade back over, giving the kill to BZZ. So Funnick ends up being punished since Lullick wasn't actually going to commit to going up there.
Yeah, Van score just in no man's land. He will buy out. Although you get the increased respawn time these days, definitely worth it. I mean, when you're this far, it's going to take a hell of a longer 26 seconds to do this. And Scandal almost going down, but nice save here from Sunlight. Yeah. And, yeah, that Sunstrike, though, that hurts. Had that connected, definitely would have been a kill, no question. Already up to level 5, so the 225 is online. That does open up some opportunities as well down the bottom lane that telekinesis, a burrow strike, anything like that onto DK Phobos could spell death.
I'd love to be able to get it, and I mean, we're going to probably see pretty soon here the rotations in to take down these camps as well. See that there's a couple of pretty good ones. You have the Mud Golems over here, which is great for the Alchemist, and it looks like they're going to go and try and get a kill onto Scandal.
Level 4, so 2 points in the glimpse. You can see the range pretty decent still, and Scandal, he's in it now.
Yeah, he's in trouble. Going to be pulled back in. Do they have any reveal?
Bring dust.
All right, that's pretty inexcusable.
That's a good eye from Scandal, though, just to be holding on to that point, just in case, to make sure he had the earlier one of the Wex. But, so not fully abusing like the regen and the damage there, just saving himself. But yeah, I mean, should probably just have that stuff, especially because it's sanking anyway. It's like double value in case you happen to run the Lullick. So at the same time, he's also level 3. But either way. Mistakes were made, Gabe.
Yeah, I'm with you. Something to consider here, though. DK Phobos is getting significantly less farm in this lane than we saw out of the Axe. Even just like being punished and killed that one time. It's been a pretty great game for him. Ooh, tried to go for the burn, wasn't able to get it. FNG. How worried are you right now if you're Team Spirit about the lack of farm on your Batrider?
Well, in terms of net worth, he's not doing too bad. I mean, he's got Tranquils, he's got Windlace, he's got Magic Stick now, so he's not the saddest Batrider, but at the same time, he also doesn't have a jungle to go to because his Alchemist is clearing out all those stacks. So there is a certain little bit of an issue there. Whenever you're a Batrider player, you definitely want to abuse that jungle. He was able to work his way through Dire Side one over here, where Alchemist won't be spending too much time, and the Disruptor's taking mid. So I would say like a slight concern. He can't go crazy down the bottom lane. He can't really invade anymore either.
Funnick? Oh my
God. He is just abusing Funnick.
That was there's a chance he could have ran over there towards him, but I think that Funnick spotted him with the trees being down. Nighttime vision being an interesting one. But yeah, Vanscore is taking over mid, and this means Iceberg heading into the jungle, just maxing out in this acid spray and Greedle's Greed, having himself a good old time.
Yeah, now it's Funnick who's heading in the jungle for himself, so no real concern about him rotating. And that means Sunlight doesn't have anyone to work with. Maybe him, the Sand King, could get something done if they wanted to, but instead Loth is just working with these stacks, getting a little bit of gold for himself that way instead, a little bit more reliable than trying to smoke up with a Rubik. He'll just push top and use Infest, keep himself regened up as well as clear that full wave.
The fact that they're able to just sit the Disruptor mid, they can have DK Phobos run in and out, Alchemist is getting the jungle, and they're taking a tower. This is so much value for Team Spirit.
Yeah, DK Phobos is probably the biggest loser out of all of this because he's not getting very much. He's to wait so long for these camps to respawn. Not even close to coming back. He's gained 100 GPM.
BZZ! That was really close. 92 HP. Caustic is going to pop as well, but they're not going to be able to find that kill.
That's too bad too. So they lose the tower and they don't even end up getting a return on it.
DK Phobos going to pick up another bounty rune. Could head over and try and steal some more of the jungle, but yeah, it's something that they're definitely going to need to address at some point. Maybe it's just by virtue of a gank or something, but I mean, Iceberg is still getting a ton here and having himself a great game.
Oh, Vanscore works back mid.
Trying to do it. DK Phobos flame break onto Scandal, but doesn't look like they're going to be able to chase this one down. Also an ancient stack over here as well that they could think about stealing at some point.
Ooh. That'll be nice for Funnick, though.
Yeah.
That's one great thing about Shrines. See if he just waits for it to take it. Just probably not going to go into a Vanguard early on, so it can be a little bit tougher. Nice stack, though, from Funnick. Grab that and keep his Fireman rolling.
Yeah. Definitely wants to
on the hunt.
Make sure that he can get that done. And, well, nothing really coming as of yet. It's sort of similar to the last game where we just had this like early, allow everybody to farm, don't try and run at each other, wait for your big items to come online. The big difference maker this time is the ALK. Is this a strategy that's going to work for LQ long term?
Not if it keeps up at this pace. This is Blow Your Brain's been having a pretty nice time himself, but the only thing is he's like a juggernaut who still hasn't used his Omni Slash, and he's already up to level 8.5, so that's a little bit depressing for him. He hasn't taken down the tower because DK Phobos has just been sitting here trying to work with the creep every time. Barely any damage even on it. And soon that rotation will be coming through from BZZ. He has his armor, he has his phase boots. He's probably just trying to do it already. And
oh man.
That lack of initiation just because these guys are relatively poor, though.
And that's a 3-person smoke gank that is going to get interrupted, and they're just not going to be able to really punish. Iceberg is here, and a stacked up small camp is also quite nice for him. Man, just super value.
Yeah, they need something to connect here from LQ. This is starting to look like last game, except it's on the other side, where they had this kind of reliant gank strat based on what their opponents had. And Team Spirit weren't able to find the kills, and now that's heading over to LQ.
Yeah.
They at least need some pressure down bottom. Like, Blow Your Brain's trying to put... Actually, well, he's denying creeps now at this point, so I don't know what he's up to, but...
Yeah.
We'll see if he wants to push in this wave.
Well, and the other thing, too, is, like, it's a small thing, but Sunlight sitting with 2 wards in his inventory, just sort of farming up the lanes, it feels like there is no sense of, like, needing to hurry up and get things done for them right now. It feels like everybody from LQ is just sort of content with the way things are going, and I'd be at least a little bit concerned about that. But
look how rich FNG is. He has his blink. He has a life stealer inside of him. This Bat Rider is down here just trying to farm, trying to get something relevant. DK Phobos, he's like the... I don't know. He's like misleading to the Radiant side. It's like, oh, look, they're bad. He doesn't have blink. Like, well, then I'm not expecting this Slardar to roam on in mid and Blow Your Brain. It would be a great target.
God, if they could find him here, this would be so huge. Has already used the spin as well now, but...
Oh, man. Good thing they went that way.
Well, FNG... Is he gonna spawn
coming back?
Oh no, they got him! Oh god, that really hurts. Oh man. They do ping out immediately where the ward is, probably though, so that should get taken down eventually.
Yeah, that was a kind of maybe a bit of a hasty ward there.
But Iceberg, 12 minutes now, and getting really close to his relic at the very least. This is feeling like this is their game to at least take a huge advantage in, and I don't know if you're LQ right now. What's the play? How do you pull yourself back into this one?
You need a blink. I don't think there's much question about that, and it's gonna be Funnick.
We'll take that.
I'd probably go down and take that ancient stack right now, finish off my blink, and then tell my team that we need to smoke up, and tell my invoker that if he doesn't sunstrike who I hit, he's cut. It's pretty much where I'd be at right now from LQ.
Well, they're heading over this direction, and they actually don't have the blink still, so we'll have to see how quick on the draw Iceberg is. This is a really hard target to take down, and Burrow Strike to start it off. Epicenter as well, Blow Your Brain. They have everything laid out against him. Can they find the kill? He's going to end up going down. Great little combination there. They are in a little bit of trouble, though. They've lost one, and that is Funnick's Blink Dagger going to be delayed. Nice Burrow Strike. What? Out of the Flaming Lasso? Okay. I guess that's a thing.
Crazier interactions that you can see. That so rarely happens. I think there's a 0.3 window or something stupid. It's something weird.
It still ends up working out for them as they found one kill, and Blow Your Brain is gonna end up backing out. So they lose 2 for the Elk, and he did just finish his Radiance too. Meanwhile, Scandal ended up dropping the ulti down. Vanscore on top of his head, and FNG, they've got the amp damage on him. They don't have enough mana, though, for Crush. He's going to have to back out.
You know how when you, like let's say you throw a stun on a Sand King, and it, like, hits him, but then he gets stunned at the end of the Burrow Strike?
Yeah.
You ever seen that before? It's like the same instance that just happened there with the lasso. That's weird. It's one of those things where it's like, well, I saw a Pimp talking about the other day, and I'll probably butcher it, but Dota runs at 30 hertz in terms of like the servers and everything like that, so that means it takes like just one of the, like, it only has one of those as a window, I believe. Okay. So one of the 30. I don't know, I'm probably butchering that, so shout out to JJ.
It sounds like you know what you're talking about. Just
no, yeah, but I don't. I so don't. That's the issue.
Yeah. So the thing,
mid, though.
The thing about that though is weird too is that it ended up breaking the lasso, right?
Yeah, exactly, because it's the same thing with the stun, but then if you ever leave the lasso area, it's like it's just such a random mechanic thing. It's just funny, we never get to see that one. But DK Phobos has his own blink. He's got a life stealer inside. He's got a surprise. Can you find a friend to share it with though? That's the real question.
Oh, it's party time. Let's do it. Blow your brain. Duh.
Oh, this is good.
Okay, all right. This could be a problem, though. Smoke is out, and well, do they follow the trail? Oh God! Oh God! This is gonna be bad. Yeah, BZ's in some trouble. The flame break pushback, still trying to kill him off. Epicenter. Yeah. Well, Omni Slash used as well as Epi, so maybe a lot committed for that kill, but still, that was not the way they wanted to go with that for Team Spirit.
No, that's a great pick there from the Dire, or rather from the Radiant, sorry. And Jug even getting the final kill, so perfect situation. This is stuff they need. And yeah, it's not Alk, and you're not slowing down that recipe at all, as it's gonna be completed sooner rather than later for now. Oh, that is it. That is it. Those are his bots that are prepped up now.
Yeah.
At least that he was looking at. So there you go.
15 minutes.
Burn, baby, burn.
Armlet, Soul Ring, Radiance, and still, I mean, they spotted this out. They spotted him moving into the jungle here, and I guess they're just content to... is there anything that they could be doing to try and shut him down here, or was that what that smoke ink was about?
That's the thing about Alk. I don't know. Kill him once. What is it that... I think it was Fear who said, or PPD someone, you know, if you're the better team, ban Alk. It's just... What a hero.
Yeah.
It's insulting for sure, but it's just... You kill him once, and then it just, like, doesn't matter. He just still has Radiance, and he does these weird-ass things. And then everyone says, why doesn't everyone just pick Alk? And then you go, I don't know.
Yeah.
The hero's... He's certainly something. He kind of feels like terribly, where it's so rare that we see him lose. I mean, what was it when we were doing our Star Ladder games? It was like
almost
7% he ended.
Yeah, 87% win rate.
And that was like quite a few games. It was like 13 games or something.
Yeah, it ended up being more than that because they kept playing him through the qualifiers, and yeah, I don't know.
He's a hero, man. He just he's such a good 4th, 5th pick or ban. Like I feel like it must feel so good in the draft. And you go, oh my god, they were totally gonna alk us, and then you just get that final ban, and then well, sometimes
oh my god. Blow Your Brain ended up using the spin underneath the tower. Now going to get caught up, kill down. Maybe they do find it. FNG taking a hell of a lot of damage. The counterplay from Funnick is not going to be enough with that lasso drop down. And now Scandal out of mana, out of time. Iceberg going to beat him down. They take 3. All of the cores from LQ. And now, well, Lalik as well. See you later, man. This is another one going back their direction. Double for Iceberg, but every damn person from LQ going down there pretty much.
All right, well, Alchemist has almost doubled the Juggernaut net worth with that 500 some gold added to himself there. What a great play from Vanscore to start that off with the Static Storm too. And then I like how they waited right till the end of the Static Storm for all their follow-up and everything. There's no defensive saves from the side of LQ. The only thing they have is counter initiation. They don't have a disruption. They don't have a grave or anything like that. So there's no pressure to like burst them really quickly before there's allies or anything like that. They just took their time, got the maximum damage, the maximum stun lock and control to make sure there wouldn't be a spin or an Omni Slash out of that one. And then from there, the rest of the fight was just a cakewalk. I mean, you're chasing down with Slardar and Disruptor. It's the dream scenario as Alchemist just slowly shakes his fists in the air behind you and burns everyone down.
That's great. And the other thing is that it's just like, it felt to me maybe a little bit of an oversight there. The Juggernaut using his spin underneath the tower, and as soon as Disruptor shows up there, it's over. Like you can't get away from that one. Iceberg trying to TP away. Oh, last second able to get out, and that is not going to be a smoke gank that succeeds as bottom lane is pressured in.
Yep, those are his bots too. So that's not just a TP home; it's a TP back into the fray, and on the hunt for a bounty rune. Not going to find one here.
Yeah. So bottom lane, they are going to keep this pressure on, I would imagine. As
he finds that ancient stack. Does he want to take it? Nope. Just wants bit.
I mean, he can go back for it too, and it looks like they are going to maybe stack it for him now. It doesn't look like DK Phobos wants to go for that. But 14,000 net worth on this Alchemist is 2, 1, and 3. Like, it's not as if he's had a completely absurd game. He just went off to the jungle and they never killed him.
Yeah, and they have to commit all their heroes top just get this one tower, and then they're just abusing this entire area here. Alex just roaming freely between the two, pushing it in, pressuring. Bottom tower sure to fall here in a moment. Maybe a little bit of an obvious bait, but they won't fall for it on the side of LQ. And there's our early Aghanim Scepter, the common build now. We're just straight Ags. That's how we do it these days.
Oh.
So Scandal has the damage.
Well, and Sunlight is going to end up dropping in the mid lane, though, so not exactly the greatest in the world, and they do have the infested Lifestealer now inside of Slardar. So if they want to keep up the pressure, they can do it. Oh my god. FNG? Really? Just going to die for that? Alchemist is not with this team. This is a little bit of a throw right here. The turnaround, Omni Slash down as well. They drop the Static Storm onto 2. This might be enough to turn it back around, but there's going to be the Meatball, a little bit off the mark, able to jump away from that. BCZ lifted up in the tornado, trying to arm a toggle away. Not going to happen. All right, Team Spirit, what the hell are you thinking? That was not the play.
Yeah, that was a bad call from FNG. I'll take that. Just have such an advantage that you're pressuring, and just a lack of information. Well, actually, you know what? It was almost like too much information. He got baited by his own ward. Yeah. Oh, that's a free kill. We can totally burst that guy down in time. You can understand why you think that, but heavily punished. That takes away their advantage, their pressure, and oh well, maybe Scandal try and do the same thing here.
Yeah, mid lane, they are going to be able to find him. They have the amp damage as well, so going to be able to glimpse him back into the kinetic field, and Flame breaks out of it. Oh, DK Phobos, a little bit off the mark. Epicenter turnaround onto Iceberg. He's not going to have the damage to bring him down. Maybe with the Sunstrike, though, they find that kill. Now Scandal going to get Lasso, trying to pull him to the high ground. Blow your brain, no Omni, but they are going to be able to get a big crush onto Funnick and Sunlight. Somehow, they're all still so survivable. No more lift, but Sunlight does have Lasso. It's not going to end up saving him, though. They run him down. A 1-for-1 exchange of Sensibly. Crush onto Funnick? Maybe? Possibly? Open wounds?
Open wounds in 1.
Now there's the burrow onto 2 and the nice blink out. Lolic making the plays, but Disruptor and then Funnick! Oh, is he going to be able to get out of there? I don't think it's going to be enough. It was a nice play.
Corrosive haze. Too much.
Oh.
Okay, well, Team Spirit did their best to throw away that advantage, but they've worked it back now. Between the flame breaks and the dives from FNG, they eventually found their way into a favorable, well, not really in terms of net worth actually, but at least they got a couple kills back their way. So I feel like this is what should just happen last time. It's just head straight into the Roche pit after all that stuff down the bottom lane, but we got mixed up in some other shenanigans first. But now we're here. Now we have Slardar doing his thing. A little bit of extra minus armor from Alchemist, and surely this Aegis should not be too difficult to snag up.
Yeah, the DD on top of everything else, and well, with this Aegis, it was already hard enough to kill Iceberg. I will say I was surprised at the amount of damage that came out when you got the Epicenter combo together with the Sunstrike just directly on Alk. That was enough to bring him down. But I guess it was also before the Manta style, so maybe with that extra HP you get from the Ultimate Orb, it won't be enough next time. We'll have to keep our eyes on it.
Yeah, times are getting better for him. He also has plus the 6 stats from his talent, and then he also went for the 4 armor, so full survivability mode for Iceberg this game. And quite a bit of magic damage and pure damage coming out here too, so HP is definitely the solution right now.
Yeah. Well, currently not really a lot going into the favor of LQ as far as their big items are concerned. It still does feel like they can take fights. It's just very difficult for them to win them unless it goes absolutely perfectly. Over the next couple of minutes with this Aegis, what are you expecting to see Team Spirit try and accomplish? Is it just all of the tier 2s go down pretty much, or do you think they just want to keep getting farm onto Iceberg?
I would think they can probably grab the last two tier 2s, honestly. They're in a nice advantageous position. Iceberg can just be like pressuring in lanes and essentially baiting for his whole team. And there is certainly a threat for LQ because he doesn't have the Aegis, so you would love to try and find him without the Lifestealer. Maybe you're hoping that he's making a gank somewhere else with his allies and you can just find Iceberg on his lonesome. So Team Spirit likely looking to just shadow him, follow him around. And instead of LQ, they're just trying to figure out where they are, dodging them. Like FNG just shows mid, and then they pop out with the Infest, and it's like, okay, well, we're not going to Infest gank. Let's just punch this tower down as fast as we can ourselves. The Blurbrain even spins the creep.
And God, Iceberg is just continuing to soak up all this gold here bottom lane. Pressuring out, and nobody really able to come and contest while they're taking this tier 2.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
And we talk about the idea of like the damage types from LQ and everything, and once again, like Alchemist is one of these heroes that just builds HP so ridiculously heavily. Like, and no one else builds an Octarine core this early on in the game, and so is all this just like flat HP from the point booster and the vitality booster. Very, very good against the current lineup of LQ. They don't really have any minus armor or anything to allow you to capitalize on like lower armor values. It's just crits coming out from a Juggernaut. It's not very like a big deal at all. It's mostly just pure damage from the axe. So the magic damage, the pure damage, it's all very ineffective against that giant amount of HP. And look at 2,085 with the soul booster, and that's with that armlet off.
Yeah, that hero just causes a lot of issues, and you can see them all set up here in the top lane. They're expecting Alchemist to make this rotation, but currently he's just more content farming in a safer place near his team, and doesn't look like he's going to want to go for it. We'll have to see. He does still have those bots online, and looks like the call comes out to go high ground instead. At least pressure.
I'll just run the illusion up there.
Oh, and the other scary thing about this is that if somebody from LQ TP's back, Disruptor can get a glimpse off if they wanted to go for this.
Yeah, those Mantas helping to provide that vision too.
Hell yeah, you can
looks like Team Spirit last game.
Yeah.
The big baits just waiting for so long, hoping Iceberg's going to show up without that Aegis.
Okay, well that's a little...
Oh, thanks, Vanscore.
Good to know.
Just helping out.
Spassy Spiel. I don't know what that means.
We're just going to pretend it said thanks, man.
Yeah. Maybe, you know what, that's the ultimate level of like, you know, comeback.
Yeah, that's right. It's the wrong time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You tell them the wrong time when it's going to end up expiring.
True strats right there.
All right, well, here we go. TPs are coming back. Can they find the glimpse? It would be quite a big deal if they could. It does not look like it's going to happen, though, as everybody is now back and has been for a little while.
I'm sure part of me's just like, man, why am I up here? You have an Octarine core. Like, can't you go do this? I know I have an Aegis, but I feel like this is on you. The Alchemist.
Yeah, as soon as they see everybody, now he's going to go over here. Iceberg not throwing anything away at this point.
I'm playing maybe a little bit more cautiously from Team Spirit. And,
oh, God.
Was there a quick smoke or anything? No.
We've seen this story before. It's going to have a different ending this time. EZZ finds the kill.
Oh, there we go.
Oh.
Top lane, Lolic by himself with Iceberg being burnt here, too.
Yeah.
So probably just going to try and cut the next wave, maybe.
And does look like he's still setting up for this, but the illusions, do they spot him? They don't quite yet. He is going to blink away, so it looks like they just get a glimpse of him real quickly, showing that he's there. And now they found him. There's the initiation. Oh, a little bit off the mark. Trying to pull him back in. They need that flame break, but don't commit it.
I'm surprised they couldn't find any damage onto him there, but nice escape.
Radiant's top tower is under
unlikely to amount to much without Axe, and look how far this tower, fast it goes down.
Epi trying to go, connects onto 2, Sunstrike as well. It's not enough though, and now they're going to be able to pull back in, blow your brain on the other side. Well, Juggernaut going to be contained, at least for the moment. They were able to bring down the Lifesteal at the very least. Now, Omni Slash on Iceberg, they take him down as well. This was not the fight it was supposed to be, and they've lost 2 of their cores. Vanscore also going to die. I don't know what the heck happened there where they weren't able to get the kill with Bat Rider onto him.
That couldn't even get the tower, so They chase so far down and heavily punished. Sick epicenter there from Lollik, setting everything up just in time for Funnick to respawn and join that fight. That is crazy.
A huge turnaround. Found 4,400 gold swing into their favor off of that, and granted, it was still at almost 12,000 net worth lead, but it's nothing to scoff at. Looks like the tier 1 is going to be assaulted.
Yeah, they're popping that Alchemist Pinata. Gives that ridiculous net worth lead, which affects the comeback gold, so LQ very happy whenever they can win any sort of an engagement. And I like what Scandal did here, too. He just went straight for a Lincoln. Definitely not very common, but in a game like this, Slardar, Disruptor, Lifestealer even, and then, of course, the Lasso probably being the biggest one there for him. Very nice choice here from Scandal. Now it's Funnick. Maybe
they've used their blink, or their glyph, as well, so not going to have it. It looks like they're instead just going to go for the jungle, but I was wondering if they're going to think about testing high ground since Glyph was going to be on cooldown for a really long time. It doesn't look like they want to try that. Oh, Zalka's back up.
And, oh, that gets canceled. All right, that was FNG heading to the shrine, but he ended that one and instead going to start hunting on the Radiant side.
Well, how much do you feel like this has sort of been put back into LQ's favor? Is this something where it's still basically the same problem as before, or do you think that now LQ has the tools to kind of deal with what Spirit are throwing at him?
They've definitely given him a lot more gold, like onto Scandal and stuff. That now the high ground becomes more difficult. They weren't able to get that second tier 2, means they can't clean up the shrines, which means the next Roach fight will also be more difficult. And with all that farm on Invoker and Sand King, they can definitely fight them in the pit. They have plenty of good tools for it, so this will have to be Team Spirit's test in terms of their patience and trying to do exactly what LQ did in the previous game, where they just slowly, very slowly, amassed a lead that just seemed totally insurmountable. LQ definitely having better heroes for it this time, though, I would say. Like the Invoker, Juggernaut Core, a little bit better than a Tinker and a Lifestealer.
Oh god, this is really scary. Do they spot him out just on the other side of vision? They do have vision now. Blow Your Brain alone. Funnick misses up the initiation. FNG able to find him now. They are controlling Blow Your Brain over here. Sunstrike comes in. They take down Axe, so BZZ not going to be there. Blow Your Brain pops them into actually able to get out of the kinetic field with that. Drops the Omni onto Vanscore. He's going to go down, and now Scandal showing up. A really good ice wall. Going to be able to control both of them, as it does look like Blow Your Brain trying to escape in the epicenter. Finds the kill onto 2, so 2 already down. They are able to pop the shrine. Blow Your Brain still alive. Can he survive? No, not going to be good enough. So they lost 3, but all of them have buyback. Sunstrike wasn't on point.
And again, these fights are getting so split, though, that I don't think it's favoring Team Spirit. The way that they're taking these engagements, where they're not just focusing one person. They keep like static storming Jug, and then just no one's hitting him because they're busy somewhere else. And then your Lifestealer is trying to fight 3 people at once with only a single stun from a Slider. There's no combinations happening. You're not allowing your Lifestealer to actually put in work at all. It's like, I mean, they still win the fight in the end, but it feels like with the advantage they have, they should be winning them harder and better. But they're not really on the same page together. As well as, I mean, you got credit to LQ, like the way that top fight started was because there was a good wraparound from the Juggernaut. They were forcing him to fight in different positions and locations, and that seems to have happened again, because Jug's somehow over here, well, there's 3 heroes fighting, and just using spins and Omni Slashes and Mantas to survive as long as possible to give his team chances to bring down that Lifestealer.
Yeah. And also the other thing is they're able to wait out the Aegis that entire time, and then now it's back up so they can contest for the fight that's probably going to decide Roshan. So as far as like the momentum of this game, it's not feeling like Team Spirit are just sort of putting the pedal to the metal. And now trying to assault this tier 3 tower in the bottom lane again. Maybe 3rd time's the charm?
Yeah, they're really starting to lose their window here. Like, this is getting very bad. Your Lifestealer is falling off so hard because he keeps dying in these fights. He's not finding any creeps whatsoever because he's just inside people the whole time waiting, trying to find counter ganks as they try and jump on your Alchemist. And now your lead has fallen to just 5,000 with an Alchemist on your team. You subtract that 11k between him and the Invoker. You start thinking about this guy in terms of like relevant terms, and they're down right now to LQ realistically. So like the fact that fight went so well for LQ with a botched initiation from Funnick is very scary for the Dire side.
Well, and now getting into position for another fight here. FNG, oh, they break the smoke, so that is the invis showing for him. And, well, unfortunately, Yeah, they dropped a sentry ward. That's going to be spotted though, and that would have been a huge pickoff if they could have found FNG right there.
And Sunlight will also just blink away. So both teams knowing the other is scouting around Roach. I think you're just going to use this gem to try and assert some vision. And that high ground ward, though, still there. Looks like they don't have any way to get rid of that. And is he just... All right, no, okay. He was just back in. For a second, whew, I was worried that he was like still inside that Bat Rider.
Oh, yeah. Well, you do see Scandal. He scouted out the Roche pit, and they're taking it. So he's got everything queued up. Roshan ends up going down a little bit off the mark. Lolic decides to go in. He is going to end up going down here. Sunlight needs to get out immediately. But he is going to be up on the high ground now as well. He lifts up the Bat Rider, tries to throw him away, and it does still look like, though, he's going to go down.
All right, supports are crumbling.
Yeah. I mean, you can understand there the desire. You want to go in and contest, but Team Spirit just take it so quickly, and we'll have to see how these next couple of minutes work out. They built that buyback.
I think Lolic just saw Iceberg, and he was like, okay, that, you know, maybe we can get him without his ulti going. We can actually kill this guy. He doesn't have the Aegis. That'll stop the push. We can win this game. But instead, maybe high ground would have been their best shot. Do they have Glyph? They do. So they should have Sand back up in time. He's going to try and hold his buyback. Rubik will spend his.
Phobos.
Oh, they need to save this for Sand King.
Slightly botched the initiation. All right, there's the cold snap. They are going to be able to steal, what was that, acid spray? It's a good one.
Yeah, that's very nice. That should end this push.
Well, very, very contentious moments, and we'll have to see if LQ can wait out another Aegis here, if maybe Team Spirit can take this advantage to take down the whole tower. It's kind of interesting that they decide to put it on the Lifestealer this time around. Do you agree with that choice?
Yeah, I think they have both times, or every time so far. It's just like Iceberg should be okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, right, he did, of course. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Oh, that's fine. It's just because you would expect that the guy with 30,000 net worth might get it, but
yeah.
DZ is just so irrelevant in a lot of these fights. The second his rage ends, it's done.
Oh, that hurts.
Seconds of value.
Did you see that up top? Epicenter, Meeple, everything dropped on an illusion, and they like barely killed it. So they don't have the whole combo right now on bottom lane.
Was that because of the... I know he got an illusion rune, so I wonder if they were thrown off guard.
That must have been what it was.
Yeah. What's just Manthas?
No blink yet for Disruptor, so we can't get that great initiation off, but Funnick is over here to the side, able to pull back in onto one. They don't get the call back, and Blow Your Brain in a lot of trouble. Needs to get the Manta off, but he is going to go down. No buyback for 70 seconds. This could be what they're looking for. There's the Burrow Strike. Crush connects onto Scandal as well. Funnick, a big call. Van Score dropping low. Can they get that kill? Dunk off the mark. Not going to be able to find it. Now Scandal's going to drop. He has buyback. Going to have to use it here in Lolic. Burrow Strike connects onto 2. There's the buyback from 1. They're saving the buyback for Invoker right now, and it looks like Sand King just trying to get away. Yeah, the Crush isn't there.
All right, Alchemist Dodo. This is so basically similar draft to the last game, but we replaced the Tinker with an Alchemist, and it's just someone that can be, well, maybe someone a little bit more powerful overall in terms of Dota 2, but certainly contributing a hell of a lot. Iceberg just dominating this game. This was I would call this a pretty sick individual effort, to be honest. I think he played fantastic. I think that there were opportunities for LQ to possibly win this game, but Iceberg on a very strong hero, no doubt. Can't really deny that, but I think he did a good job of controlling the waves, and although there were some rather terrifying moments and some certain deaths on this team that were worrisome,
yeah,
he kept it together. And oh yeah, give me that double lasso.
You love to see it. Gonna be able to pick that one up. Passes it over to him. A little bit of miscommunication here as well. You can see Funnick deciding to buy back in that instance, but you didn't buy back on the Invoker. So maybe that was a situation where there's a little bit of miscommunication between the team as to who wanted to do what. Nice Manta dodge there for Iceberg. Not going to take the damage from the self-stun. Oh, BKB popped. They think that they're safe right now, but Funnick there, able to jump forward. Oh, didn't hit anybody. Stacks to him down. Oh, he catches 2, and now no buyback for Funnick. No great way out of this one. Iceberg is going to hit himself and now force staffed away. There's the Burrow Strike. Connects onto 2. The Omni Slash as well. They might be able to bring him down here. He is still so survivable, though. Iceberg is going to be able to get this turn back around in just a second. Not level 25 yet, but still they can't bring down anybody.
Yeah. Raise your OS Frogs. What a hero. Oh, that Octarine Core regen. It's so good.
They bring them all down. They want to try and find anything, but, well, Blow Your Brain just does not have the tools with which to deal with these heroes, and there's going to be the bash just immediately. The crush turnaround, Blow Your Brain, goodbye gone, as BZZ hops inside of a creep and hits Scandal to the curb. Well, maybe not quite yet, but this game is over.
Quite over indeed. All right, that was a little scary. We had a couple falling out there in terms of network. They went from like 15K to like 4K and then right back up to 30. So they were able to eventually close it out. Team Spirit looking a little bit more solid this game. Still shaky at moments. And I don't know. I'll be surprised if they go back for Slardar Lifestealer. I don't know. Was that really what won this game? I'm okay with the Slardar for sure. I don't know if Lifestealer is really the hero.
Yeah, it was
LQ play well around it.
I think so too, and I think that they just have a good answer in general to it. Like, it felt to me that each time in each of these games, LQ's answer has been team fight against this lineup and stay together, don't get picked off. And I don't know how you play around that.
Well, we'll see. See if I guess we assume Chen's still banned. That's definitely been a good game plan here for LQ. Maybe they end up with the Slardar themselves, perhaps, depending on who actually is the first pick this time, who's going to choose the sides. And we'll have to see. I believe most teams picking Radiant for the most part at this point seems to be the ideal situation.
Yeah, definitely. Well, guys, that's going to do it here. Game number 2. We're pushing it to a decider, everybody. LQ facing off against Team Spirit in match number 3. Your 2 commentators, Lyrical Dota, as well as Trempax. Give us a follow on Twitter if you want. We're going to continue the action after this one in just a little while, where we're going to move into Group B, which is Vega facing off against Comanche. Should be another great matchup there. Really excited to see that one. But, of course, got to finish it off here. Team Spirit, LQ. We'll be back in a bit.